Hello students, welcome to Sanal Nair Engineering Academy. In this video, we are going to talk about the first unit of Engineering Mathematics 3, that is linear differential equations with constant coefficient. Okay, so without wasting much time, let us start with the main part. Here in this video, we are going to study about complementary functions. This is one of the part of the whole solution. So if you will watch this video, there is no need to watch other video. इस वीडियो में हम बहुत सारे examples solve करने वाले हैं. If you can solve that each and every example, your basic will become very strong. Okay, so let us start with the basics here. Okay, so we all know numbers. हमें numbers पता है. We all know numbers. For that we have the basic coordinate system. So for example, here will be part 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. Here -1, यहाँ पर -2 और ये -3 हो गया. So 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3 ये सब lie करता है real axis पे. It lies on the real axis. So the number is called as what, students? The number is called as the real number. So any number which lie on the real axis will be termed as real number. चलो ठीक है, real number तो पता चला. But if I will ask you what is the answer of √4, बहुत सारे students, most of the students will give the answer what 2, but it is wrong. Because the answer should be +-2, because +2 का स्क्वायर 4 होता है और -2 का भी स्क्वायर 4 होता है. So your answer is √4 का आंसर +-2. In the same way, if I will ask you what is the root of 25, so we'll answer now +-5. Are you getting this? √25 का आंसर जो रहेगा वो +-5 रहेगा. But instead, if I will ask -4, okay, -4, so तुरंत कैल्सी निकालो और कैल्सी में ये डाल के देखो कि भाई -4 क्या आ रहा है. So if you will put that in the calci, your answer will be coming as maths error. Because √-4 ऐसे है ही नहीं, you cannot calculate √4, so we have to simplify it. हमें क्या करना पड़ेगा स्टूडेंट्स? सिंप्लीफाई करना पड़ेगा. सो √-4 कैन बी रिटन एज √-1 एंड √4. दोनों को मल्टीप्लाई करो. आफ्टर मल्टीप्लाइंग योर आंसर विल बी व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स? -4 ही रहेगा. चलो ठीक है. व्हाट इज द आंसर ऑफ √4? √4 का आंसर क्या है? +-2. And what is √-1? It is termed as a number, that is I. I is what? I is nothing but iota. Means √-1 is denoted by I, whose meaning or whose wording is iota. Okay, so this is nothing but what, students? This is nothing but the imaginary number. इमेजिनरी नंबर हम उसे बोलते हैं. सो इमेजिनरी नंबर इज योर +-2i. सो ये जो +-2i जो है, जो आंसर है √-4 का, दैट इज नथिंग बट विच नंबर स्टूडेंट्स? +-2i. In the same way, let us take one example. और एक एग्जाम्पल लेते हैं. -25. Okay, so 25 is a square of 5, no? So plus minus सबसे पहले 5 लिखो. If minus is there, put it as I. So +-5i is yet another an imaginary number. Okay, if I will ask you -16, so तुरंत आप क्या बोलोगे? सर -16 रहेगा. +-4 minus है, so iota, so it will be +-4i. I hope you are understanding this. So ठीक है. Real number lies on real axis, so where the imaginary number will lie? The imaginary number will lie on the imaginary axis, students. This is your imaginary axis. Okay, so I will write here as which axis? Imaginary axis. The number which lie on the imaginary axis will be called as imaginary number. So this will be I, this will be 2i, this will be 3i. Upwards positive रहता है, downwards will be negative, -i, -2i, -3i. I hope you are understanding. Real axis x axis में ले लो और imaginary axis take on the y axis. So if I will write here this point, ये point कौन सा डिस्टेंस पर है, 2 डिस्टेंस पर, और वर्टिकली 2i पे. So if I will write here 2 plus 2i. Okay, so such number, students, such number, if I will write here 2 plus 2i, yeah, 2 plus minus 2i, in that 2 means which number, 2 कौन से number पे है, real axis में है, so it will be treated as which number, students? It will be treated as a real number. In the same way, 2i lies on the imaginary axis, so it will be treated as imaginary number. So I will write down here which number, students? Imaginary number. So दोनों को मिलाकर, real और imaginary को मिलाकर जो number है, that number is called as what, students? It is called as the complex number. It is called as the complex number. See that. Are you understanding this? This is called as the complex number. Complex number includes the real number as well as the imaginary number. So in unit number 1, total पूरा unit में we are going to talk about complex number. Complex number will have your real as well as it will have the imaginary number. Okay, I hope you have understood this thing. So let us move on to the next slide here. Okay, so our unit number 1 is linear differential equation. Linear differential equation with constant coefficients. With constant coefficients. Perfect. So let us understand its meaning. Linear differential equation with its constant coefficient. Okay. So फिर से बेसिक से स्टार्ट करते हैं. Let us see the meaning of what, students? Let us see the meaning of first differential equation means equation क्या है वो देखते हैं, and then we will use here the linear differential equation. Okay, perfect. So यहाँ पर ध्यान दो. So any equation, if I will write here 2x plus 2 equals to 6. Okay. So what your x answer will be? Simple logic है. Your x answer will be 2. This is an equation, correct? ये equation है, but इसका आप index देखोगे या फिर if you will see its degree is 1. So when its degree is 1, the equation will be called as which equation, students? It will be called as the linear equation. I hope that you're understanding. उसे हम क्या बुलाएंगे? Linear equation. That is the when x has the power of 1. So x equals to 2 is the solution of an equation. Okay, x equals to 2 is the solution of an equation. So the solution of an equation is also called as, or it is also called as roots of an equation. So called as roots of an equation. इसका मीनिंग क्या हो गया, स्टूडेंट? What it means is that solution और जो roots रहेगा, it is nothing but it is same. Solution और जो root रहेगा, that is same of the term it is. So in unit number 1, we are going to find out the roots of an equation. So roots of an equation means what? Solution of an equation. Perfect. Okay, likewise, if I will write down here like this, 2x square plus 2x plus 2 equals to 6. So here, as you can see, students, the highest term is 2. So that will be termed as which equation? That will be termed as the quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. चलो ठीक है. When we will have 2x cube plus 2x square plus 2x plus 2 equals to 6, this equation will be called as which equation, students? Cubic equation. this equation will be termed as cubic equation. If we have 4, it will be termed as quadratic equation. So all these equation are there. When raised to 1 रहेगा, that will be linear, raised to 2 रहेगा quadratic, raised to 3 रहेगा cubic equation. But all this equation comes under what? Comes under algebraic equation. It will be termed under what, students? Algebraic equation. But we have to study linear differential equation. Means any equation which will have what? Differential, which will have differential in it, that will be termed as what, students? That will be termed as linear differential equation. So how it is, what it is, let us see. देखो भाई, अगर समझो, if I will write here like this, d2y upon dx square plus dy by dx plus y equals to f of x, okay, function of x. So if I will write down this equation, देखो equation में एक LHS रहना चाहिए और एक RHS. LHS भी है, RHS भी है, right? So this equation is called as linear differential equation. देखो उसका डिग्री क्या है, okay, उसका जो डिग्री है, हाईएस्ट पावर है उसका 1 है, right? 1 है, उसका क्या है? 1 है. Are you understanding? Such equation is called as the linear differential equation. But our topic name is linear differential equation with constant coefficient. मतलब उसके साथ में coefficient भी रहेगा, उसके साथ में coefficient भी रहेगा. So how to write down here? So I will write down AO d2y upon dx square plus AO के बाद क्या? A1 dy by dx plus a2y equals to what, students? Equals to f of x. So this equation is called as linear differential equation with which coefficient? Constant coefficient. Are you seeing this constant coefficient? ये देखो constant coefficient a0, a1, a2. These are the various constant coefficient out here. So in this way you are going to study this equation. We have to find out the root of this equation. Root means what? Solution. We have to find its root. हमें क्या find करना है? हमें roots find करना है. Roots of LDE we have to find in this chapter. Roots of LDE we have to find here. So roots of algebraic equation तो simple था, but here we have some different cases. So roots of LDE means finding out what, students? Finding out the answer of y. हमें y का answer find करना है. Are you getting this point? So we have to find out the answer of y. So let us see how to find out the root, how to find out the solution of an LDE equation. Okay, so roots of, I will write down here, roots of linear differential equation with constant coefficient. So this is divided into two parts. दो part में इसका division है, students. It is divided into two parts here. Okay, so y, that is y is divided into two parts, that is yc and what, students? yp. इतना ध्यान दो. If you want to find out any solution of an equation, so it will be having yc as well as what? yp. Total ये यूनिट में, यूनिट नंबर 1 में we have to find yc, we have to find out the value of yp, but in this video we are going to talk about only what, students? We are going to talk only about yc. So yc is been called as the complementary function. Is called as the complementary function. Okay, perfect. And yp will be called as particular integral. उसे हम क्या बोलते हैं, students? Particular integral. So if I will do the addition of both complementary function plus particular integral, I will get root of an equation, root of an LDE equation. Okay, so it is, I'll just write down like this. So simple logic क्या है स्टूडेंट? सिंपल लॉजिक इतना आप याद रखो that y equals to yc plus yp. This is the first condition that we have to see here. Y equals to yc plus yp. Done? Are you getting this point? I hope that you have pen and notebook in your hand and you are writing this down very properly. Okay, so in next point, in next slide, we will talk in detail how to find out complementary function. So let us see how to find out what, students? Complementary function. So I will write here complementary function. Complementary function, that is nothing but what, students? Yc. This yc is divided into two main parts. Okay, so now tell me how many numbers we had seen? कितना number हमने देखे थे? We had seen how many numbers? We had seen two numbers. The first one was which number? Real number. And the second one was what? Imaginary number. Okay, so अगर आपका आंसर रियल में रहेगा so आपको ये सारे केसेस यूज करने पड़ेंगे जो हम अभी डिस्कस करेंगे, और अगर आपका आंसर इमेजिनरी में रहा then we are going to discuss about what? We are going to discuss about that separate cases. So if you will talk about real numbers, so real numbers again is divided into two parts. Okay, ठीक है भाई, कौन से पार्ट में? फर्स्ट पार्ट इज द डिस्टिंक्ट. The second part here will be what, students? It will be repeated. Means if your answer is distinct मतलब different. अगर आपका root different आया, 3 आया, 2 आया, then you will use this case. If your answer is repeated, means अगर आपका answer आया 2 2 2, then it will be your what? It will be repeated. In the same way, if I will talk about imaginary numbers, it is again of two parts. Yes, it has distinct का मीनिंग क्या हो गया? डिफरेंट. एंड सेकेंड इट विल हैव व्हाट, स्टूडेंट्स? इट विल हैव रिपीटेड. It will have what, students? It will have repeated. So as you can see here, it is of how many types? कितने टाइप्स के हैं? दो टाइप के YC है, एक रियल और एक इमेजिनरी. बट इन रियल वी हैव डिस्टिंक्ट, repeated. Again in imaginary we will have distinct, and what, students? We have repeated here. So let us see case number 1. What is case number 1? When the roots are real and distinct. The case number 2 क्या रहेगा? When the roots are real and repeated. The case number 3 will be when the roots are imaginary and distinct. And case number 4 will be when the roots are imaginary and repeated. Perfect. I hope that you are understanding. So let's move on to the case number 1. Okay. So case number 1. What is case number 1, students? When roots are, देखो, when the roots are real and distinct. When the roots are real and distinct. ठीक है, जब रूट्स रियल रहेंगे या डिस्टेंस रहेंगे. सो सबसे पहले फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू शुड नो द फॉर्मूला. ओके, यू शुड नो इट्स फॉर्मूला. सो इट्स फॉर्मूला sorry, it's written as yc equals to c1 e raised to m1x plus c2 e raised to m2x plus c3 e raised to m3x, so on and so forth. ऐसे आप लिखोगे स्टूडेंट्स. दिस इज द आंसर दैट यू आर गोइंग टू राइट. ओके, बट हाउ टू यूटिलाइज इट? लेट अस सी. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दिस इज द yc, that is your c1 e raised to mx plus c2 e raised to mx plus c3 and so on and so forth. बट अगर देखो, अगर आपका रूट आया, रूट मतलब क्या स्टूडेंट्स? सोल्यूशन. इफ योर रूट और सोल्यूशन इज what, for example it is 1, 2, 3. अगर आपका solution आया है 1, 2 and 3, so it is real. देखो भाई real है, but एक दूसरे से अलग है, so that will be what? That will be distinct. Okay, that will be real as well as distinct. So m1 will be your 1, m1 के जगह पे 1 डालो, m2 के जगह पे 2 और m3 के जगह पे क्या डाल दो स्टूडेंट्स? 3. सो योर yc विल बी, क्या लिखोगे? c1 e raised to m1. व्हाट इज m1? m1 1 है, 1 into x means x only, plus c2 e raised to m2x. so c2 e raised to m2. what is m2? m2 का वैल्यू क्या है? 2x लिखो, plus c3 e raised to m3x. what is m3? m3 is your 3, so 3x. Are you understanding this point? So this is the answer of what, students? This is the answer of yc here. yc का आंसर है c1 e raised to x, 1x मतलब x से हो गया, plus c2 e raised to 2x plus c3 e raised to what, guys? e raised to 3x. Okay, I hope you are understanding. Let us take more example. Okay, if your answer is D, -2, 2. Okay, so can you say this is repeated? क्या ये repeated है? No, this is not repeated. ये different answer. एक -2 plus 2. -2 lies here on the left side of the coordinate, or +2 lies here. So this is not the same answer. So for that, again you will take yc equals to c1 e raised to m1 की वैल्यू क्या आ गई है? 2 -2 सॉरी, और m2 की वैल्यू 2 आ गई है. सो यू विल राइट डाउन yc equals to c1 e raised to -2x plus c2 e raised to 2x. This will be the answer. This will be the answer of what, students? Of yc. Are you getting this point? Answer of yc. So I want one thing from you. Now you have to comment on the comment section what will be the answer of this case. D equals to -3, -4, 2 and 3. I want the value of yc in the comment section for case number 1. For case number 1. ठीक है? Perfect. So this was our case 1 when the roots are what, students? Roots are real and distinct. Let us talk about the second case. और आप ही मुझे बताओ कि second case क्या रहेगा, students? What will be case number 2? बोलो, what will be case number 2? When roots are, okay, when roots are real and repeated. Okay, so अगर आपका आंसर आया real and repeated as well, so what you are going to do? So first of all, we'll write down the value of what, students? We'll write down the value of yc here. So सबसे पहले formula तो लिख लेते हैं. yc का क्या रहेगा? So the formula is in this way. yc equals to c1x square plus c2x plus c3 ब्रैकेट के बाहर e raised to mx. अरे बाप रे सर, ये कैसा फॉर्मूला है? कुछ नहीं, बहुत ही सिंपल फॉर्मूला है. इट इज वेरी इजी फॉर्मूला गाइस. yc c1x square plus c2x plus c3 e raised to mx. e raised to mx रहेगा. Fine. Let us see by the example. If your answer is, students, -2, -2, okay, so it is real. सबसे पहले तो वो real है, and the same value -2 वो repeat हो रहा है. कहाँ पर? +2 है क्या? नहीं है. So -2 is repeating means it is real and repeated case. So for that what we have to do? देखो ध्यान दो, उसके लिए क्या करना है आपको? -2 के ऊपर लिखो c constant, फिर ये x और ये x का स्क्वायर ऐसे लिख लो. सबसे पहले तो कांस्टेंट x और x का स्क्वायर लिख लो. सो यू कैन राइट हियर yc equals to, okay, so we will have x square. So start with x square means c1 x square लिखो plus c2 x प्लस c3 क्यूब है, क्योंकि एक्स स्क्वायर के बाद x है और उसके बाद सिर्फ कांस्टेंट है, c मींस कांस्टेंट, तो सिर्फ कांस्टेंट आना चाहिए, उसके साथ कौन सा भी वैल्यू नहीं आना चाहिए। सो दैट विल बी c3 e रेज टू mx। अभी देखो m1 m2 m3 तीनों का वैल्यू सेम है, सो दैट्स व्हाई वी रिटर्न m। सो e रेज टू आप लिखोगे -2x। आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस स्टूडेंट्स? क्या आपको समझ में आ रहा है what is going on here? So this is the answer of what students yc. We will also see how to use this while solving numericals. Okay, I hope you are understanding it very well. Okay, फिर से और एक एग्जांपल लेते हैं। If it is 4, 4, okay, then what will be the value of students yc? yc का वैल्यू क्या रहेगा? सबसे पहले तो लिखो कांस्टेंट, ओके सॉरी, सबसे पहले तो लिखो आप कांस्टेंट दैट इज c एंड देन राइट डाउन x, और रहेगा तो x स्क्वायर x क्यूब, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ यू हैव टू राइट हियर। सो yc विल बी, देखो x दिया है तो सबसे पहले लिखो c1x प्लस c2, ओके ब्रैकेट के बाहर लिख दो e रेज टू व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स, e रेज टू 4x। आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस पॉइंट? परफेक्ट। सो ये आपका आंसर आया yc का। सो लेट अस टेक वन बिगर एग्जांपल हियर टू अंडरस्टैंड द टर्म वेरी प्रॉपरली। आप जितना प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना अच्छे से आप स्कोर कर सकते हो इन M3। इट इज नॉट सो डिफिकल्ट, ओनली वन थिंग दैट इज बिटवीन अस एंड स्कोरिंग गुड इज द प्रैक्टिस। सो प्रैक्टिस करना मत भूलो। So D equals to 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Okay. Now YC, दिमाग लगाओ. So here will be what? Here will be constant. Here will be x. Here will be x square. Here will be x cube. Or here will be x raised to 4. So how you are going to write? You will write down C1 x raised to 4 है, देखो 4 के बाद क्यूब है, सो C2 x क्यूब लिखो, C3 x स्क्वायर लिखो, C4 x लिखो, C5 दैट्स इट। लास्ट का टर्म में सिर्फ कांस्टेंट आना चाहिए। e रेज टू हर एक का आंसर 3 है, सो राइट डाउन 3x। Write down students 3x. So this is your case number 2 when the roots are what students real, और वो क्या हो रहा है, repeat हो रहा है। For that the most simple term should be to learn this constant x or x square. Okay, perfect. I hope you have understood this case also, case number 2, और दो ही केस रह गए हैं। So let us see, let us move on to the case number 3. So case number 3 क्या रहेगा students? What will be case number 3? Yes, we'll write down. When roots are, now we had completed with real, now we have to see imaginary. When roots are imaginary and distinct. Imaginary and what students? It is distinct. So for that, first of all we'll write down obviously its formula. उसका formula क्या है, सबसे पहले तो वो लिख लेते हैं। So yc equals to e raised to alpha x, okay, c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. This is the formula that you have to remember, guys. E raised to alpha x in bracket c1 cos beta x plus c2 sin beta x. C2 sin beta x. Okay. So before explaining the meaning of it, ये तो बात पता रहना चाहिए that if I will write down like this 2 plus minus 2i, ये कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर हो गया, अभी जस्ट एक्सप्लेन किया। 2 मतलब रियल नंबर, सो उसको आप अल्फा से डिनोट करोगे। 2i, ये जो 2 कोएफिशिएंट है i का, that will be beta. So alpha का value 2, beta का value 2. Okay, so for example, if your root is, अगर आपका root आया students 2 plus minus 3i, perfect. So 2 means what? 2 is alpha, 3 means what? 3 is beta. So the value of yc students, it will be what? E raised to, देखो alpha x, what is alpha? Alpha is 2, so e raised to 2x. C1 cos beta, what is the value of beta? That is 3, that is 3x plus C2 sin beta x. Okay, sin beta is what? 3, so it is sin 3x. Okay, आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग? सबसे पहले तो आपको यहाँ पर अल्फा और बीटा का वैल्यू पता रहना चाहिए. यू शुड नो द मीनिंग ऑफ अल्फा एंड व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स बीटा. Okay, alpha as well as beta value. Perfect. So if I will write down here the next question, okay, next part अगर लिखा, for example it is d 0 plus minus root 3 by 2i. अगर ऐसा रूट आया, if such root is been there students, so 0 का मीनिंग हो गया अल्फा, root 3 by 2 का मीनिंग हो गया बीटा. So yc will be e raised to 0x, क्योंकि अल्फा के वैल्यू 0 है. in bracket c1 cos beta, what is beta here? Beta तो है root 3 by 2, so root 3 by 2x लिख लो, plus c2 sin, what is beta? Beta की वैल्यू क्या है? Beta is root 3 by 2x. But what is anything raised to 0? Anything raised to 0 is always 1. So this whole term, ये जो whole term है students, e raised to 0x वाला, it will get replaced by 1. 1 into this whole will be only this one, c1 cos root 3 by 2x plus c2 sin root 3 by 2x. Okay, so this is the value of or answer of yc when it is imaginary but non-repeating. repeat नहीं हो रहा है, 0 plus minus root 3 by 2 repeat नहीं हो रहा है, एक प्लस है और एक माइनस है, दोनों डिफरेंट आंसर्स है. Perfect. So students, I want the answer of this in the comment section of this, कि इसका आंसर क्या आएगा. Take it as a challenge and try to solve. As I told you, जितना प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना अच्छे स्कोर के नजदीक जाओगे आप. So -3 plus minus root 2i. Tell me students, it's yc. उसका yc बोलो. Okay, this was our case 3, and the last case, that is students, that is case number 4. Case number 4 is when the roots are, okay, roots are imaginary, when the roots are imaginary and distinct नहीं है अभी, and it is what? Repeated. and repeated students. जब भी roots imaginary है और repeated है, what to do? So first of all we will write down its formula. उसका formula क्या है देखो. So yc equals to e raised to alpha x. Okay, if you had seen the case number 2, जब ये repeat होता है, we had c1x square plus c2x plus c3. सेम यहाँ पर भी लिखो, बट ब्रैकेट के बाहर सबसे पहले रहेगा cos बीटा x के लिए. सेम यू कैरी फॉरवर्ड, फिर से x स्क्वायर x और कांस्टेंट लिखो, बट दिस कांस्टेंट c1 रिपीट नहीं होना चाहिए. ये जो c1 है फिर से रिपीट नहीं होना चाहिए. c3 के बाद क्या आता है? c4. सो c4x स्क्वायर प्लस c5x plus c6 in bracket sin beta x. This is the formula for the yc when the roots are what students? Imaginary and repeated. Okay, So same case 2 जैसा है, but you have to write down how many times? You have to write down 2 times here. You have to write down how many times? 2 times लिखना पड़ेगा, एक cos के साथ और दूसरा क्या स्टूडेंट्स, sin के साथ. Let us see an example here. D equals to 1 plus minus 2i. Again 1 plus minus 2i. Total how many roots are there students? Total कितने roots दिख रहे हैं? So if you will see, एक plus और एक माइनस, मतलब यहाँ पे 2 रूट्स हो गए और यहाँ पर एक प्लस और यहाँ पर एक माइनस, फिर से और एक रूट हो गया, मतलब 4 रूट्स हो गए टोटल. सो इट इज, यू हैव टू राइट डाउन c और ये हो गया x. So yc will be equals to e raised to, what is the value of alpha? 1. What is the value of beta? 2. e raised to 1x, मतलब x हो गया. Okay, so we have x here. We'll write down c1x plus c2 in bracket क्या students, cos beta, beta is 2 ना, plus c2 के बाद c3, c3x plus c4, cos के बाद sin, but beta की वैल्यू 2. Are you understanding this? Y is equals to e raised to x here. E raised to x, c1x plus c2 cos 2x plus c3x plus c4. Okay, so I will just write here, 2 minutes रुको. Okay, so if your answer students, okay, if your answer here is 2 minutes. Okay, if you will write here d equals to 2 plus minus root 3i, 2 plus minus root 3i, 2 plus minus root 3i. So its yc will be what? ये हो गया. सबसे पहले तो ये इमेजिनरी है, दिस इज इमेजिनरी एंड वो रिपीट हो रहा है. सो दिस विल बी कांस्टेंट, दिस विल बी x, दिस विल बी x का स्क्वायर. सो yc विल बी e रेज टू अल्फा x, अल्फा की वैल्यू 2, e रेज टू 2x. ओके, सबसे पहला x स्क्वायर है, सो राइट डाउन फॉर x स्क्वायर, c1 x स्क्वायर प्लस c2 x प्लस c3 cos 2x प्लस c3 के बाद c4, c4 x स्क्वायर, c4 के बाद c5 x प्लस c6 sin बीटा x, बीटा की वैल्यू 2, बीटा की वैल्यू हो गई 2 स्टूडेंट्स. सो दिस इज द फॉर्मूला ऑफ yc which has been used in one application here. So ये टोटल कितने केसेस हो गए स्टूडेंट्स? हाउ मेनी केसेस आर देयर हियर? टोटल 4 केसेस आर देयर. ओके, कौन से 4 केसेस हमने पढ़े हैं? देखो, you can take screenshot of this. When roots are real and distinct, e raised to m1x, m2x, m3x. When roots are real and repeated, c1x square plus c2x plus c3 e raised to mx. When roots are imaginary and distinct, cos or beta आया, and when it is imaginary and repeated, this is the answer here. Okay, but actually sometimes what happens students, sometimes what happens कि कभी कभी mixture भी सवाल पूछा जाता है. Means sometimes your roots can be real as well as your roots can be imaginary also. Okay, so in such case what we have to do is we have to just mix both of the cases. For example, let us take an example of combination cases. So combination cases, 2 minutes. Yes, so if I will write here the combined cases, let us see how to do it. So if your answer of D is minus 3 plus minus root 2i, as you can see here, first one is your real और दूसरा है imaginary, means this is a combination. ये real और distinct है, means this is case number 1. This is इमेजिनरी एंड डिस्टिंक्ट मीन्स दिस इज आर केस नंबर 3। तीनों केस को मिक्स करो, आपको क्या मिल जाएगा, yc। सो अकॉर्डिंग टू केस 1 ये हो गया m1। सो c1 e raised to minus 3x plus, okay, 3 is the alpha, root 2 is the beta, so e raised to alpha x, e raised to 3x in bracket आप क्या लिखोगे, c1 cos beta, what is beta, root 2, so root 2x plus c2 sin beta, what is beta, root 2x. Are you getting this point? This is the value of yc. If your answer is like this, 3 comma 3, 0 plus minus root 2i, so the yc turns out to be, देखो 3 रियल है बट दोनों भी रिपीट हो रहे, 3 is repeating, so whenever repeating term is there, एक को कांस्टेंट लिखो, एक को x लिख दो। ओके, सो दिस विल बी c1x प्लस, अभी एक देखो मैंने गलती क्या किया yc में लिखते टाइम, c1 का फिर से रिपीटेशन c1 लिखा, नो यू विल लूज मार्क, c1 के बाद c2, c2 के बाद c3, सो यू शुड बी केयरफुल। परफेक्ट, चलो c1x प्लस c2 e raised to what, e raised to 3x प्लस e raised to अल्फा, अभी अल्फा की वैल्यू क्या है 0, बीटा की वैल्यू क्या है √2, सो e raised to 0x in bracket c1 cos root 2x cos beta x प्लस, देखो फिर से गलती हो गया क्या नहीं, सो दैट्स व्हाई आई एम कीपिंग कि हम फ्लो में ये गलती करते हैं स्टूडेंट्स, सो यू हैव टू पे अटेंशन वेरी मच। c2 के बाद c3 आना चाहिए, c3 cos root 2x प्लस c4 sin of root 2x। दिस इज द कंबाइंड केसेस, ये था आपका कंबाइंड केसेस। So this will be what students, combined cases. I hope that you have understood this series here of cases, various cases. Okay, so it was nice teaching you students. If you have any doubt you can comment in the comment section. अगले वीडियो में हम एक्चुअल कैसे इसे सॉल्व करना है, कैलकुलेटर में कैसे रूट्स फाइंड आउट करने हैं, that we are going to see. Thank you so much students.